Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel if this reading resonates with you. This is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have a Four of Cups to start us out. We're going to put that into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread. And as I lay these cards out, I would also like to say that if there's anything you want me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Okay. Finishing up, Path of the Serpent here. Wow, this looks good. Let's do a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Handel Tarot, which was an early Father's Day gift from my wife and daughter. I literally just opened this before I started filming, so we kind of get to experience it for the first time together, unless you're already familiar with it. We're going to select one card, and this is going to be our mystery card. We'll put the lizard right on top. We're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading, and hopefully that will, tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end. So looking around here, we've got a couple of majors over here. We've got some water, some earth, some air, some water, a little bit of fire. We've got some more water. It's fairly balanced. It's not the perfect spread, but rarely do we have a spread that is absolutely perfect, right? But I think good things are happening right now in your life. There is a lot of, I think there's a lot of balance. There is a lot of striving for a harmony, for a kind of, just like a peaceful state in your life, right? I feel like that's kind of what we're doing with the Four of Cups here. We are in a place of relative peace and calm, okay? This is a ship that's basically anchored. You got a little cove carved out for yourself, right? You're in the bay, you're anchored, you're relaxing. There's nothing too strenuous going on. There are no difficulties. At the moment, if there are difficulties, they're kind of in the distance a little bit, right? They're kind of out there a little. And I think there's a general peace and a general calm that is coming over your situation. Now, this is also kind of saying that, look, there's no real excitement. There's nothing like completely just outrageous or magical or adventurous going on. Things are kind of baseline good, right? Steady, secure, nothing crazy going on. And sometimes that's what we need, right? We don't always want to be in the fire. Sometimes we need a little bit of, maybe this is rest. Maybe this is more self-care. Maybe this is just taking a little bit of a break from the storm, from the fire, okay? I think you're someone who is very much in touch with themselves. I think you're aware that you need periods of rest and relaxation, And the Four of Cups is basically saying that, look, I think it was at the Rider-Waite where on the Four of Cups, it's the figure is being offered another cup and they just kind of are refusing it. They've already had three. They don't want another one. So I kind of get this feeling like you know when to take a break. You know when to say when, as the saying goes. And I feel like you are so aware of yourself, of your body, of what's going on in your life, that you know when it's appropriate now to kind of sequester yourself, kind of go back to bed, or just take a day or two, take an hour or two, or when to just say, look, I've had enough of the chaos, enough of the fighting, enough of the excitement, enough of the storms, good or bad. I just need a little bit of quiet time, right? I think we all need that sometimes. And I think the Four of Cups is giving us that, right? Or letting us know that it's time for that. Now, what I see kind of crossing your path is a Five of Discs. So what you're taking a break from, what you're kind of resting and recovering from at the moment, I think, is some kind of turmoil or upset or uncertainty in your physical environment. Now, that could be a domestic situation, something to do with your home. It could be something to do with your finances or your career or the physical work that you do, right? What do you do with your body every day? It could be something health or wellness related. It could be fitness, could be diet and nutrition. But it's something that we do with our physical bodies that we're focused on a daily basis, right? Finances, work, could be all of these things. And I think that there's been a lot of stress in these areas lately. I don't know exactly which one, but the Five of Swords here underneath everything, this is telling me and you, I think, that this has been more mentally stressful than we're admitting to ourselves. So this is something that we need to acknowledge that, yes, this is stressful. The stress and tension has been building up. It's time to invoke this Four of Cups and get a little rest, right? It's never a bad thing. So this could be, again, it could be something, it could be your workout, your exercise, your fitness routine has been very strenuous. It's time to take a few rest days. It could be that you've been dealing with a lot of stress at work. It's time to unwind from that. It could be that you're having difficulty budgeting or with your finances. It's time to take a step back and rest and relax, and then you can come back to it again tomorrow or the next day or something like that. This could be something to do with the home. It could be some repairs or renovations that you've been working on that are now becoming very stressful. It's time to take a rest. This could be some other project, a creative project, a business that you're trying to start, a creative endeavor that you're involved with that's been getting a little bit more stressful. It's time to take a break from that. I think that's a very good message, a very positive message. What's behind this message is pure love, right? This is something that you're working on that you have an intense connection to. You have a lot of love for this thing, whatever it is that you're doing. You're really connected with it. It holds a very high place in your heart. Okay? And that's why you're willing to endure this stress, and you're willing to what feels like a strong commitment to this work that you're doing. And when I say work, I don't just mean employment. I don't just mean a job or a career. I mean, like I said a moment ago, whatever you're doing with your body every day, right? The work that you do. That could be mental work, emotional work, but it's expressed through your body, right? If you're a writer, well, it feels like kind of, writing is very much a mental, intellectual thing, but there's emotions there too, and it has to come out on paper or on the laptop or something, so there's a physical expression of it. So that's what I mean by work. And it could literally be a job or finances or something. But you have an intense love for this. You're very much connected and committed. This is your purpose right now. This is what you're focused on. And this has a lot of importance in your life. It's high priority. Okay? High priority either because it is very necessary for your physical existence, or it's very necessary as an expression of your creative energy. Okay, or both. I mean, it could be everything in one. But these court cards now. I guess first we'll go to this Knight of Discs. I feel like this is representing you in a certain sense of realizing that you need to take this break, not just to kind of cure this stress and tension that we have underneath everything, but to get a better assessment of what you're doing, to get more of a bird's eye view of what's going on, where you're going, where you've already been, and what you want to do, what your plans are now. How do we proceed? Right? So it could be with all these fives, the fives are can create some confusion, some stress, some tension, some uncertainty. So we need that 4. We need to stabilize how we feel. We need to calm this anxiety down a little bit so that we can get a better perspective on where we're going and what we're doing and how we get there. So this is, I think, the focus for you. The focus underneath it all is to relieve this tension before this causes other problems, right? This mental stress, this physical tension, and so forth too. But your rationalization for it, your justification for it is, well, I've got to take a step back so I can kind of reassess, and get a better perspective on what we're doing so I know how to move forward. So there may be part of you that doesn't really want to admit that, hey, I'm just stressed out. I mean, it kind of boils down to that, I feel. And I say boil because we have this fire energy over here on the path of the serpent, which we will get to. Going through some of this is this water sign person. I think that this Prince of Cups is representing someone else in your life. This could be a representation of a significant other. Could be a friend, a family member, coworker. Could be your trainer. Could be your gym partner. I don't know. Someone in your life that is your go-to when you need to kind of rest and relax and unwind, right? This, and it may not be a person, honestly. It could be anything. Could be a place. Could be a type of energy. Could be, your couch and Netflix or something. I've noticed Netflix has really been kind of declining in the shows that they've been producing. Maybe that's just my unpopular opinion, but I've been liking Prime a lot more. I don't know. But that's my go-to. When I need to unwind and de-stress from all the work, the nonstop work that we have in our lives. I like to just kind of, sit down, have some iced tea, and just watch, one of my favorite shows, and just relax, put my feet up, if even just for a few minutes, And it's not so much about the physical rest, but it's about the mental rest. It's about me trying to take just 5 minutes where I'm not stressing over stuff, business, family, health, life. Just 5 minutes where I can just kind of let my mind just be and not really think about anything. You know what I mean? So this is what you go to when you need that. This could be a person, your best friend, you want to go hang out, just take your mind off stuff. This could be a place, could be a particular food or drink. It could be a certain type of music that you enjoy, whatever it might be. Whatever it might be. But this is the way that we get through this stress and get to equilibrium. That we get back to a centered place in ourselves. We're not leaning either direction, right? We're straight up again. So this is the balanced position now. We're centered. We're a little bit more grounded with this earth energy, but we're centered. We're balanced. We don't feel like we're being bent so far in one direction that we might snap. We're poised. And when you're poised, when you have that kind of balance, that stability, it's almost like in meditation. You sit and in some traditions, you're meant to keep your spine and your neck straight. Right? And when you find, it may take years. It's taken me years. I'm still learning. When you find that perfect alignment, that perfect balance, suddenly it's not work anymore. Suddenly it's not a struggle. Suddenly there's no tension, there's no cramping, there's no fatigue. It's just like you hit that sweet spot and it's just like you're perfectly balanced and it's effortless. And that's when you can really do the meditation work, the mental work, or the relaxation or whatever your purpose is in meditating. But it's finding that sweet spot where it stops feeling like work I think that's kind of what we're going for here. We need to balance all of the stress that you're under with a little bit of this rest or relaxation or recuperation or whatever we really want to say that Four of Cups is. And it's going to be different for everyone. But it is absolutely necessary so that we can find this poise. Now, from this position of perfect balance, this kind of effortless, it's almost like you're just kind of floating there now. There's no tension. Then we can really proceed through this fire energy. And this is the eon. This is the final judgment. This is the rebirth, the reawakening, the baptism by fire. So now this energy, this creative force is really going to get started and overpower everything on the path of the dove here, right? It's not going to be a period of rest and relaxation. This fire energy here and the fire that comes next, this fire is going to eat up this four. This Four of Cups is going to just be completely devoured by this fire energy. So you kind of need to find this sweet spot, this poise, this balance, so that you can endure all of the work that's coming next for you, because I think you really are on the brink of a major development in whatever this work is that you're doing. You're going to hit a major milestone in whatever this work is. And that's what this Eon card represents. You're opening up, you're preparing yourself. You're getting ready to kind of to explode into this new stage, new phase, new era of whatever the work is that you're doing. So enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet now, because I feel like your work is going to intensify. And here is the Knight of Wands. This is the little bit of the checks and balances that we need. You've got to grab the reins. When this fiery energy, when this work, this activity just explodes, you can't let the horse carry you away, right? You don't want to lose control and just be whisked away. You've got to hold the reins. You've got to learn how to control this. You have to make sure that you are poised and balanced and sharp, and that you've got this equilibrium. And you've got to hold these reins, because this is some really intense fire energy. This is some energy, this is some creative force that really doesn't care what's around it, doesn't care what obstacles are in front of it, is just going full speed ahead. And it's very easy for us to get carried away by that horse if we don't maintain the control. Okay. Now what comes next is this Eight of Cups. Now this kind of seems like a little bit of a downer ending. But maybe if we explore this card a little bit, we'll see it's not really a downer. Because with the Eight of Cups, this is usually about, well, you're kind of losing heart, you're losing feeling, you're losing interest or desire or motivation. This work just doesn't hit anymore. Right? That's kind of the feeling typically with the Eight of Cups. Just doesn't feel the same. But if we think about this card in a different way, I think this is what we are correcting. And I think it's going to be a cycle, right? Because we started with the Four of Cups. Well, really we started with the Two of Cups, then the Four of Cups, then the Eight of Cups. It's exponential. 2, 4, 8, right? So the original Two of Cups was that intense desire, the passion, the love, the real purpose and meaning behind all of this. And then the Four of Cups was realizing we've got to take a break. We're getting a little bit stressed out. We've got to kind of reassess, reevaluate, make sure we know where we're going. And then we start the work again. And then I feel like we reach a point where we're starting to be overwhelmed again. We're starting to kind of not lose interest so much, but lose the motivation to stick with it. So this card brings us back around to the Two of Cups, to the Four of Cups. It's a progression, right? It's a cycle. It's a math equation that just keeps repeating itself. And I think the more of this activity that you have, then we get to more of this stress, more of this tension that builds up. Maybe we get a little off-centered again. We've got to circle back around to the 2, to the 4, start this work again. When we start feeling this 8 of Cups, that's when we know we've got to go back to the path of the dove, the work over here, and take our break, rest, recover, recuperate, reassess, and kind of re-pressurize, re-equalize the pressure, right? Restore this equilibrium. So to me, it feels like a repeating pattern or flow. And the 8 of Cups, really, it's not about, oh, we're losing interest, we're losing heart, like the water's draining out of this. It's more about we don't want this to happen, so we have to do the rest of this work to kind of fill these cups back up, right? Because they're naturally, just through all of the effort and the work that we're doing, the cups are going to lose water over time. It's like an engine that burns oil or leaks oil, right? You have to kind of keep filling it up, and if you do that, then it's going to be okay generally. Don't take my advice, though. I'm not a mechanic. But with the water energy, it's kind of like that. We have to keep filling it up. We have to go through these phases of rest and restoration. And then we fill our tank up and we keep going a little bit more. When we notice the tank starts to get a little bit empty, well, that's when we got to cycle back around. We've got to fill it up again. Okay. Let's look at the mystery card. I'm very curious, as always. The lizard did a good job of keeping an eye on that card for us. I'd like to see some full water energy. A 9 or a 10 of Cups would be beautiful. A 6 of Cups would be pretty cool. And we've got 2, 4, 6, and then the 8. So the 6 would kind of show like the perfect stage of it. And then we start to drain, our tank gets a little bit emptier. Then we start filling it up until we get that 6, that perfect balance of water energy to keep us going. Well, let's see. It's the Hierophant. Interesting. The Hierophant. So I wonder if these periods of rest and restoration and recuperation for you are more than just kind of nursing our bodies and our minds and getting back to equilibrium. I wonder if part of this is reconnecting with the original impulse, with the original 2 of Cups, essentially, or the energy that provided that 2 of Cups for us, right? We have 2 cups. We're holding one. Who or what is holding the other? I think it's your own personal Hierophant, your spirit guide, guardian angel, god, goddess, deity. I think that is what we are reconnecting with through this cycle so that we can get the 2 of Cups again to fill our tank back up. But in order to fill our tank back up, we need the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is provided by your own personal Hierophant. Your own higher mind, your own connection to your soul, your spirit, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. I feel like this is a necessary component. It's like in the Jing where the text says you have to go and see the wise person. You have to go consult with the sage. It's the same idea, okay? And this could be a literal person. It could be your mentor, your teacher. It could be an older family member, the wise person that you know in your life. You know, reconnect with that source of inspiration, but more than inspiration, that source of guidance, right? And it's someone that you will kind of raise this glass to, with these 2 of Cups, and that'll be the inspiration, that'll be the spiritual influx that you need to continue the cycle. So I think this is quite an interesting confirmation card. It's not what I expected at all, but I think it adds a different dimension to this information. And I hope this resonated with you. I hope you'll leave me some comments and let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're feeling. We're going to do an extended, and if you want to stick around, just click on the link that's right here. You'll have access to all of the extended readings. Thank you so much for letting me read for you here on Dove and Serpent Tarot.